What's up, guys? Hope all is well. I wanted to do a Veterans Day card showing and show some really cool stuff, show some recent pickups, a couple of one-of-one unique Cal Ripken items, and I want to show you my first ever baseball card. So we'll do that as well. First of all, though, since it's Veterans Day, I wanted to show a couple cards here that kind of go along with that theme. First one here is kind of unexpected, but it's a 2019 Leaf Metal Babe Ruth, and this one here is a pink one. It's numbered to 15, so there's only 15 of this one. I don't normally get pink, but I thought it was just super cool. I like the image, and only 15 of them. Look at the shine. I don't know what kind of prism thing this is. You know, it's Leaf brand, so I don't know what they call this, but it sure is cool. But yeah, I could go with the blue or something, but that one was for sale and it was a decent price, and there was only 15 of them. But I try to collect some of these military cards and some of these veteran cards and things like that, so I had to have that one. That is not a recent pickup, but it goes along with the Veterans Day theme, so I wanted to show that one today. Another one here is the, I think it's 2009 Topps Heritage American Heroism. Here's the back of it. It's a World War I engineer, and this has a authentic piece of uniform worn by a World War I engineer. No one specific, but it's a real piece here. So my grandfather was an engineer in World War II. They don't have a card of that, so I just wanted to pick this one up. But I thought it looked super cool. Looks like a medal hanging around your neck. Just a great design. Shows the engineers that work there in World War I. And I just thought it was a super cool card. And this one was in good shape. So that one is awesome. Shout out to all of our veterans who either put their life on the line or gave their life. They are heroes. But yeah, that's, you know, not a baseball card, but it's just something kind of special to me, so that's why I have that one in my collection. This one here is both. I don't know how many of you guys know about historic autographs, but they've made some interesting stuff. 2021 is my favorite, and they have a bunch of different celebrities, so it's not like just baseball players, but very interesting cards. And this one here is Joe D. This seems to be the toughest one, and that's why I got this. Some of these have fake, like manufactured dog tags that they put in them, but the ones I like are these. Now, this wasn't worn by Joe D, but these are all official military uniforms of the era, and there's quite a few baseball players in the set, but he's a tough one to come by. It seems like the dog tags are a little bit easier, but there's some different ones with like a magenta back that is, you know, rarer and all that kind of stuff. But just to get the Joe D with the uniform, I thought was really cool. So that there goes along with the Veterans Day theme. So just wanted to show those, since that's, you know, that's the day we're talking about cards. So shout out to all the veterans and the men and women and the, you know, all the different branches of the military that are still serving as well. But shout out to you guys. But those are kind of some cards I wanted to show with this. I have some other stuff, but I want to save all my American flag cards and stuff in some other collections for 4th of July. We'll do some fun stuff then, God willing. Another one, I got a recent pickup just for my strange uniforms collection. And this one I would not have known who it was at all if it didn't say. But this here, who would you think that is if you just saw this card? I would have never guessed it in a million years. 22 with the Royals. There's no mustache. That is Juan Gonzalez. And That looks super weird to me, so I would have never guessed, but this is going to be perfect in my you don't recognize them in weird uniforms collection. That is awesome. I think that's 05, but this pretty awesome. This one here will go with my movie card collection, and I'll have to show and do a video on that stuff by itself sometime, but since it's a recent pickup, I had to get it. Of course, it's fake, but it looks like the 89 Upper Deck, and of course, in 89, Major League came out, and just a bit outside, Harry Doyle. What a great deal. So, you know, there's no real cards of this other than that real rare blue set with a few of the guys, and I still want to get that, but since those were just kind of handed out to a few people, they're expensive, but wanted to get something with Harry Doyle on it, so I picked that one up. This one here is a Ryan. It's a Spotless Spans from Allen and Ginter in 2023, so just last year. But I picked this one up because it's his only no-hitter with the Astros. So 1981, 5th career no-hitter. I just thought it was a cool card. So that one there is, you know, not a significant pickup or anything like that, but it's just pretty cool, you know, breaking the tie with Koufax, and he was with the Astros, all that kind of stuff. So I picked that one up. Thought it was a cool card. This one isn't a super recent pickup, but I haven't shown it on the channel. But this is 1986 Donruss highlights. Reggie Jackson and Mickey Mantle. Now, Reggie wasn't with the Yankees anymore, but this is when he hit 537 and passed Mantle on the home run list. This is a 10. Really wanted to get a 10 of this. But yeah, he passed him up. And they had some kind of ceremony, and they made this card, which I always thought was a cool card. And I may have had it raw back in the day, but I just wanted to get a 10 just to kind of, you know, have a special one. But those are kind of eclectic 4 cards right there, but recent pickups and semi-recent pickups. Just wanted to show those. The next ones, I'm going to be doing a bunch of videos on Diamond Kings, but I'm not going to do them on a lot of the random Diamond Kings, so I figured I could give myself permission to show these today. There's certain Diamond Kings that I'll talk about that I'll have to make several videos on those, but these here are the 2024s, and here's the backs of them. But they're kind of made like the 05, but they improved on them. They're a hollow foil now. Check this out. Those are beautiful. This is, of course, my local guy, Biggio. But they took that kind of 05 feel and gave them this treatment. And they are spectacular. So that's Biggio. Here's the Bagwell. Just really great looking cards. Just really great looking cards. So picked up a few of the ones that I like. Some of my guys. Here's the Ripken. I like that image. I like the art, the way they did it on these. Of course, you're not going to get the logos on the caps. I get it, but what beautiful cards. This is a great design. And adding that hollow foil, making them look like this is just, I think it looks amazing, really. But that's the Ripken. Here's the Ricky. Ricky being Ricky. I love that image. It just looks intense from the side profile. I think these are gorgeous cards. If you have a favorite player that's in this checklist, I suggest you get it, because these things are cool. These are really, really cool, good looking cards right here. Here is the backwards cap himself, Ken Griffey Jr. That's a nice looking card. Just the hollow foil. I really like what they did with these. I think they're great cards. I love having a few of my guys. I don't know if I'll pick any more up or not, but they're certainly cool cards. And last but not least, the vintage guy. They did a Willie Mays. Rest in peace. But check that out. Willie Mays Diamond King. New York. They did a great job kind of a callback on the design, but giving it that hollow foil flare. Check those out together. That's a that's a nice looking shot right there, if you ask me. Those are some cool looking cards. So really, really, really nice Diamond Kings. Sometimes this ultra modern stuff can be cool. Not, you know, a prospector or anything like that, but when they do stuff like that, you can see how that shot looks. It's just, that's awesome. That's awesome stuff right there. Another one I picked up fairly recently is a 2006 Topps National. So this was at the National, and here's the back. None other than the Mick, talking about his long home run, but it has all the stats of his whole career. Of course, all the red leaders. Just super cool, but I like the way this looks. So it's a foil card. This one was in pretty decent shape. They're kind of hard to find without being dinged up because it's just a foil card, but really cool image of the Mick. I like the way they laid this out. You know, they had the licensing and stuff, so it was very, very cool card in my opinion. So I picked that one up fairly recently. I hadn't shown it, so I think it's a neat card. It's not an expensive card, but you know, it's not some super limited thing, but it's not something you see every day, you know. But you know, 2006, that's it's been a while now. This one here is certainly an unexpected card, but it's a TriStar card from 2008, but it's technically a wrestling card. So shout out to Andrew, maybe he'll like this. But if any of you guys grew up when I did and we were watching late night Shop at Home in the 90s, this man got you more excited about baseball cards than anyone in history. The greatest baseball card salesman of all time, none other than Don West. And this is an official card with an autograph. I think it's his only one that's an official card with an autograph that's solo by himself. And of course he didn't have a Shop at Home card, so I just went with the wrestling card. I like the image on it. But yeah, rest in peace. He's been gone for a little while, but Don West gave me a lot of enjoyable nights, getting me excited about baseball cards, even if they weren't or were the greatest cards ever. But yeah, lots of good memories of him yelling into the TV, and me watching it, wanting to buy just about everything that he he talked about. But those are some awesome memories of the 90s there. This next one isn't a super rare pickup, but it's so cool, and I couldn't find one. I may have never had one, I'm not sure, but I thought I have almost everything related to the 2131 Ripken, but this is 96 Pinnacle, and it looks awesome. Really good hollow foil, even the signature, look at that. But it just shines. You move this thing around, it is spectacular. It's not Dufex, but it's a hollow foil. It looks awesome. But I don't think I have this, so I picked it up recently. But then when I got it and I looked at the back, it's even better. It not only has that, but it's got him in the vet touring the field. And we have some Stadium Club cards, some other cards with that image, but you know, this is 96, so this was celebrating the 95 season. You know, this is as fast as they could print them. But 2131 and that back, I think that is a spectacular card. Speaking of Ripken, we'll keep on the Ripken train here. This is another one of these Legends cards from Stadium Club. I showed the Ryan before, but this is the Ripken. These are just cool. Those die cuts and then the hollow foil in the background. You know, these would have been a tough pull back in the day, but they're fairly affordable now. They're really nice looking cards, and I love the image. I'm just a big sucker for when they put a really cool image on a card, and it's one of my guys, so had to have that. Super cool. The next couple things are are unique one-of-one type of Ripken items, so I wanted to show them. I hadn't shown them, and one's a recent pickup. This one here is not a recent pickup, but this is a printing plate, but you can see how small it is. And this is of my favorite card of all time. Now my favorite is the orange. This is the blue, but it's a blue printing plate for the WBTV 1980 Charlotte Ripken, and it's a small one, so it's not obviously the thing that printed that card. My suspicion is that this printed a header in some kind of magazine. So this either was in an article in some magazine, and this was the printing plate for that card, or the header above the set, something like that. But never seen another one. The guy that bought it had never seen another one. I bought it from him. He had it a long time. He got it at a show many years ago. But since I don't have these cards anymore, I just thought it was cool to have kind of a one-of-one printing plate, even though it's not the one that printed the real cards, but this printed probably some kind of magazine somewhere. I don't know, but really neat. Just a very unique item. Didn't spend a lot on it. You know, it's not worth a lot of money or anything like that, but I like unique stuff like that. It's just, you know, something you don't see every day, and there's probably only one of them. Speaking of only one of them, I got a early Ripken, probably within the first couple years of his play, and this is a Type 1 photo, and it is gorgeous, and I'm very glad I got it, and it is pristine. When I got it, I was so happy looking this thing over. Not that I would have been mad if it was a little bit messed up, because these photos that are old, you know, 40+ years, Type 1s, they can have a little wear and still be considered great. So, but this thing is just awesome. Look at this image. Now I'll probably have this sent off to get slabbed at some point, but look at that Ripken. That thing is spectacular. You got the Kodak backing there, but original one-of-one, original photograph of Ripken. You'll never see another one. I'll never see another one. So I had to pick it up. I've been looking at a lot of Type 1 photos lately, and some of them get pretty pricey. But that one's my guy, and that's early, and he's obviously taking batting practice, and just a zoomed in shot that's very unique, early 80s. So I pulled the trigger on that one. That's a special piece for me. Just kind of a one-of-one Ripken item as well. So love that. Really happy with that. Probably get it slabbed at some point just to have a proper holder instead of just the semi-rigid, but that thing's beautiful. Just kind of the, you know, sepia-ish tones. Just everything about it. Just the vintage look of it. It's one of my favorite Type 1s I've ever seen, you know. I'd love to get some Mantles and Ruths and that kind of a thing, but this is one of my guys, and it's a beautiful photo. But last thing I want to show is my first ever baseball card, and I have been looking for it for years. Finally unearthed this thing in a box, and it's framed up, and it's taped, and it's, you know, it's no value to this thing. But before I started collecting really in 1990, and I didn't know anything about any card boom or anything like that. I was at the right age. There's a whole story behind it. I'll probably cover it sometime. But this card is from 1988. I don't know if you remember this story, but John Peters, Super Kid, Sports Illustrated, 1989 Sports Illustrated. He was 51-0 at that time in high school, and for the Brenham Cubs. So I live close to that. We lived in Waller at the time, not far from Brenham at all. Within 30 minutes, it's just, you know, a few different country towns out there. Brenham was one of them. But he made national headlines. No one had ever done 51-0 in high school. He ended up winning 53 games in a row. And we went to and we never did this, but my dad packed up the whole family. We went to Austin. We watched the championship game. And he pitched, and we lost. So he ended up with a 54-1 record in high school. Now, with injuries and stuff, he never did, you know, get to be a star in the major leagues and stuff, but he's still involved, and you can read the story about what he does now. But super kid John Peters, 51-0. If Brian Taylor wasn't the best high school pitcher ever, John Peters was. He was 53 in a row wins and 54-1 total because he lost that very last game in the championship. But in 1988, they made this card, the high school card, Brenham High School Baseball. You had Matt Fisher, James Nix, John Peters, and Jan Finke. Now, James Nix was a pitcher. He would have been probably the best pitcher in the country if it wasn't for John Peters being on his team. So, interesting stuff. But Peters was the man. Cover of Sports Illustrated. And yeah, this card probably has some tape on it to get it on this that I framed up years and years ago. But I've been looking for this thing forever, just for my own sake. But I wanted to show you guys. But that's my first baseball card right there. It says Pride Wins on it. Cubs Pride. But yeah, the Brenham Cubs 1988 baseball card. First card I ever had. And obviously I loved it. I kept it. I framed it up with the 89 Sports Illustrated probably after that championship game that we went to. Too bad he lost. It'd been really sick if he'd have been 55-0. But anyways, that's the story of that, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. Shout out to all the veterans out there, and appreciate all that you guys do. It's just amazing. You guys are the best, and we all appreciate you and everything that you've done for us in our country. But I hope you liked this video, guys. Thank you for everything, and until the next one, we'll see you. Bye-bye.